Okay, now we're going to read about the Himalaya Mountains. As we read, let's think about the location, the physical features, as well as how the Himalaya Mountains might influence where people settled in ancient India. We'll read the passage through one time completely, and then we'll go back and annotate. The Himalaya Mountains are located along India's northern border. This mountain range is the highest in the world. Mount Everest, the world's tallest mountain, is part of the Himalayas. It reaches more than 5.5 miles into the sky. The Himalayas form a natural border between the Indian subcontinent and most of the rest of Asia. The Himalayas live up to their name, which means home of snows. The highest peaks are always covered in snow and ice. Fierce storms can dump 10 feet of snow on the area at one time. Water from glaciers in the Himalaya Mountains feeds northern India's major rivers. Underneath the Himalaya Mountains, the earth is always moving. This movement causes Mount Everest to rise slightly every year. It also makes earthquakes and landslides common in the area. Okay, so now that we've read it through one time, we're going to go back and annotate or take notes considering the location, the physical features, and how the Himalaya Mountains might have influenced where people settled. So here we see the mountains are located along India's northern border. So I'm just going to go ahead and circle that. Also, if we take a note here on our map, we can see the mountain range is labeled right here. So that is where the Himalayas are located. And we see down here, this is present-day India. We also see here that the mountain range is one of the highest in the world. So as we think about that, how would really tall mountains influence things like travel and trade? Would it be easy to travel across these really tall mountains, or would it be difficult? We also see, like we saw in the map, that the Himalaya Mountains form a natural border between the Indian subcontinent and most of the rest of Asia. Okay, in the second paragraph, we see some of the physical features of the mountains, that they're usually covered in snow and ice, and that there can be really fierce storms that dump up to 10 feet of snow at a time. We also see here that water from the glaciers in the Himalaya Mountains feeds northern India's major rivers. This is important when we think about access to water. So how would access to water from those rivers in northern India influence where people might settle?